Today, in a very historic day, as Sesa Goa enters into its golden jubilee year while it reinvents itself as Sesa Sterlite Limited. Strategically, the merger of Sesa Goa and Sterlite Industries was a natural evolution which created India's premier and one of the world's largest diversified natural resource companies. Your company has operations across oil and gas, zinc, lead, silver, copper, iron ore, aluminium and commercial power, and has presence across India, South Africa, Namibia, Ireland, Australia, Liberia and Sri Lanka. The strength of our diversification can be seen from the strong set of financials delivered during this first year of the combined entity. Your company has taken transformational and significant steps through strategic organic and inorganic growth initiatives and is well positioned to capitalize on India's natural resources potential. Our country's geology is similar to that of Australia and Africa. We are well endowed with minerals as well as oil and gas and are among the top 5 to 7 nations in terms of reserves of several commodities including iron ore, bauxite, zinc and coal. With our sustainability approach and value-added strategy, we are well positioned to create greater opportunities for a rapidly transforming Indian economy. India is integral to our vision and for our sustainable growth. We believe that as a nation, we can save $300 billion of foreign exchange annually. The natural resource sector has the potential to add $1 trillion to our economy and can generate significant new employment opportunities. Our operations have so far been contributing 0.6% of our country's GDP and we aim to contribute 1%. Post the merger, we announced management and board changes. Tom Albanese took over as our Chief Executive Officer from 1st April 2014. I am confident that his skills and experience in leading world-class resource companies will be great value in supporting the strategic objectives of creating sustainable long-term value for all our stakeholders. During the year, we also appointed 3 new independent directors, Mr. Naresh Chandra, who served as India's ambassador to the US and as Cabinet Secretary to the Government of India. Mrs. Lalita Gupte, former Joint Managing Director of ICICI Bank and currently Chairperson of ICICI Venture Funds Management Company Limited. Mr. Ravi Kant, former Vice Chairman and Managing Director of Tata Motors. Mr. Gurudas Kamath, the retired Chief Justice of the Gujarat High Court, continues on the board as an independent and non-executive director. With these appointments, Sesa Sterlite has a well-rounded board with members bringing in a wealth of experience and diverse expertise covering strategy and operations for global businesses, international capital markets, public policy, law and corporate governance. I very warmly welcome them all to the Sesa Sterlite family. I would like to acknowledge with much appreciation services of Mr. Kuldeep Kaura, Mr. JP Singh, Mr. Ashok Kini, the outgoing directors of Sesa Goa, and Mr. Gautam Doshi, Mr. Burjis Desai, Mr. Sandeep Junarkar, and Mr. A.R. Narayan Swamy, former directors of Sterlite Industries, for their invaluable contributions to the company. I would also like to thank Mr. M.S. Mehta and Mr. P.K. Mukherjee for their outstanding leadership of our businesses. We wish them very best for their future. Moving to business and financial performance, Sesa Sterlite demonstrated that the fundamentals of our business remain strong. We have a diversified portfolio of world-class trophy assets that have cost-efficient operations, which are highly productive and contribute significantly to India's much-needed energy security. We operate approximately 30% of India's crude oil production and have a market leadership position in all the other commodities in which we operate. For FY14, your company reported pro forma revenues of over rupees 72,000 crores and an EBITDA of over rupees 25,000 crores. We have a strong balance sheet with cash and liquid investment of over rupees 50,000 crores, and we contributed over rupees 31,000 crores to the Indian Exchequer during the year. I will now share with you the progress on each of the business segments. First, oil and gas. In the oil and gas business at Kane India, we delivered records gross operated production, which was up 6% on a year-on-year basis. In March 2014, we successfully achieved a major milestone of production of 200,000 barrels of oil per day from the Rajasthan oil fields. During the year, we also crossed another major landmark of cumulative gross production of 200 million barrels of oil from Rajasthan. We are carrying out the largest ever exploration and appraisal program undertaken in the history of Kane India at Rajasthan. This exploration has already resulted in establishing over 1 billion barrels of hydrocarbons in place, adding to the existing 4.2 billion barrels. We continue our drilling program, targeting a total of 7 billion barrels of in-place resources. We are now more than confident than ever before of the resource potential of our Rajasthan block and our ability to convert the resource base to production by applying world-class technology and talent. Over the next 3 years, we are targeting a reserve replacement ratio of 150% based on our confidence in the exploration potential in Rajasthan and in rapidly monetizing the discovered resources. We are focused on execution of key development projects at Kane to deliver a CAGR of 7 to 10% in production over the next 3 years from known discoveries, thereby playing a significant role in India's much needed energy security. Zinc business. At Hindustan Zinc, we had record mined metal and integrated metal production during the year, while we continued to maintain our lowest quartile global cost position. Rampura Agucha mine, which is the world's largest zinc mine, is transitioning from open cast to underground mining. We are working towards this transition to take the mined metal capacity to 1.2 million tons of zinc-lead metal by FY17 from Rampura Agucha and other mines. Our teams at HZL is being further enforced by recruiting specialist, best-in-class expatriates for critical technical roles in these underground mines. During the year, we also achieved a record silver production of over 300 tons, and we are focused on substantially increasing the silver production from our world-class silver-rich Sindeshwar Khurd mine. The end demand for zinc in India remains strong, with the galvanizing sector, which is delivering strong growth, and this momentum is likely to continue as the country's investment in infrastructure drives demand. We currently hold an 89% share of the Indian domestic market of zinc. At our international zinc business in South Africa, Namibia and Ireland, we remain focused on maintaining production across all our assets, though one of them, Lisheen in Ireland, is nearing the end of its life. Feasibility studies are underway at the Hamsburg deposit in South Africa, which is one of the world's largest undeveloped zinc deposits. Globally, zinc metal has a strong fundamentals as several large zinc mines come to an end of their mine life, and supply is likely to fall short of demand, and we expect prices to rise. Moving to aluminum, we are the largest aluminum producer in India, and our operations are strategically located in the bauxite and coal-rich regions of eastern India. Aluminum, as you know, is the metal of the future, as it is environmentally friendly and easily recyclable and often called the green metal. We are working on securing captive feedstock of bauxite for our alumina refinery, while we are engaged with the government of Odisha for securing bauxite supply under the MOU. We are not seeking to source bauxite from Niyamgiri bauxite deposits without the consent of the local communities. We continue to maintain the second quartile cost position on the global cost curve for aluminium, even with third-party bauxite and aluminium. Primary aluminium demand is expected to grow by 6% per year till 2017 and is supported by the transport sector worldwide and substitutions in favor of aluminium. Domestically, investments in infrastructure and transport segments are also expected to boost demand. We currently have a 48% market share in India. Now, iron ore. India, as you know, has the 7th largest reserves of iron ore in the world, and Goa as a region is not constrained by geology. We note that geological features of our Sonshi mine in Goa resemble those in Pilbara in Western Australia. However, the iron ore industry in India has been facing challenging times. As you know, Sesa Goa is the largest private sector exporter of iron ore prior to the mining ban. Proximity to inland waterways and ports gives Goa mines a strong cost positioning. Goa's economy is significantly dependent on iron ore mining activities, and we are working with the relevant authorities to resume operations in Goa. At our iron ore operations in Liberia, in Western Africa, we have identified significant and potentially low-cost ore at all 3 locations. Initial studies indicate that these resources are easy to process and have the potential for further enhancement with more exploration opportunities. We are currently engaged with the government of Liberia on logistic solutions for transportation of the ore. Moving to Copper India, we have one of the most efficient and lower operating cost custom smelters in the world. We currently have a 30% market share of the domestic copper market. The demand for refined copper in India is expected to grow to 2 million tons by 2030, driven by investments in infrastructure projects, development of power generation capacities, and continued urbanization. Power. Here again, we are one of the largest thermal power producers in India with a capacity of 9,000 megawatt. We expect the outlook for power sector to improve post completion of several steps being taken by the government to enhance fuel security, improve grid connectivity, and the overall environment for power producers. Moving to sustainability and CSR initiatives, we believe that it is important for us to implement internationally recognized performance standards. Accordingly, we have embedded sustainable development into all aspects of what we do and work to support the communities where we operate, contributing significantly to the development of our society at large. We partner with the government's agenda for eradication of poverty, employment generation, and infrastructure development. We strongly support childcare and women empowerment programs. Our operations also make a valuable contribution to the social and economic development of communities in which we operate. We are also among the largest employers in the various states of India and have around 71,000 direct and indirect employees. Our community programs benefit over 3 million people, and we have more than 250 partnerships with NGOs, local governments, academia, and private hospitals. And finally, on value creation and the path ahead, the merger of Sesa Goa and Sterlite Industries was a major step forward in a journey to unlock value for shareholders of both the companies. Our vision and strategy for the company remains to build and grow a global diversified natural resources major. As our capital-intensive projects are now nearing completion and we are ramping up production, we will continue to focus on deleveraging. We are focused on low-risk projects at our high-margin businesses of oil and gas and zinc, which have significant cash generation from the existing operations and substantial cash balances. India will continue to see a strong demand in commodities with growing urbanization and favorable demographics. The country's abundant natural resources and the potential to build a world-class natural resource industry will not only provide raw material security to the country, but will also create considerable employment and economic activity. In closing, I commend and appreciate the confidence reposed in us by all our stakeholders. I thank our shareholders, management teams, business associates, regulatory authorities, the Government of India, and the state governments in which we operate for their support and contribution. On behalf of the board, I deeply appreciate our employees for their hard work, commitment, dedication, and teamwork towards achieving our company's goals. Mr. Anil Agarwal, Chairman Emeritus, will continue to guide us into our continued quest for excellence. Dear shareholders, on behalf of the Board of Directors and all of us at Sesa Sterlite Limited, I once again thank you for your confidence and support. Thank you so much. May I now request Tom Albanese to share his thoughts around the iron ore business for the country, sir.